I know you see us working. All the brethren on the street corners, the ones doing music, me, myself, we working hard to get our spiritual body. So Brother Bron,
Shalom. What you want to do, big God?
let's show them something in the scripture.
That's what I'm
with it.
We're trying to get that spiritual body.
I'm staying faithful in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body.
That's what I want.
Every day I'm eating the word, getting full of this knowledge.
Off this knowledge, off this knowledge,
I'm staying
off this
faithful
knowledge.
in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body.
And yes, I do.
Staying ready for the first resurrection.
Yeah.
Gotta have knowledge.
Spiritual body. Shit. Spiritual body. See, I'm sick of the snot. Vomit in the ailments that this body got. Sick of urination. Sick of defecation. Sick of this pain chasing me to Western medication. Sick of this suffering and sorrow, sadness. Looking round at my people lost in the madness. Affected by the wrong that this life did to them. To the point they miss the message that we trying to send to them. Talking about blessed is he who could hold his own. Nah, blessed is he who could kneel to the throne. Cause we can't save ourselves, but we would have been did it. All our revolutions failed us. Tell me that they didn't. Every time we risen, we got crushed back down. Cause the higher face was hidden for a time, but he back now. Sound doctrine with the power to get you right. Everlasting life for the sovereign Hebrew Israelites.
I'm faithful in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body.
That's what I want.
Every day I'm eating the word, getting full of this knowledge.
Off this knowledge, off this knowledge,
I'm staying
off this
faithful
knowledge.
in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body.
And yes, I do.
Staying ready for the first resurrection.
Yeah.
Gotta have knowledge.
A man cannot live on bread alone. Oh, come on. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I'd rather eat 2 P, 2 and 22. Have commandments in my life of what I should and should not do. Understand what I'm saying? Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Precept Proverbs 26:11. We trying to get to heaven, book grade, no leaven. And we can stand by it cause it makes sense. Dead in Christ, rise first, worth our efforts being pulled in. Hosea 4:6, destroyed for lack of knowledge. Ask them what's their nation when they coming out of college. They still telling you a byword. They get offended by the truth, love the flattery of liars. But ain't no falsehood getting in the kingdom. I'ma rap till I reach them while my eye Fred sings.
I'm staying faithful in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body. Every day I'm eating the word, getting full of this knowledge. I'm getting so full. I'm staying faithful in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body. Yes, I do. Staying ready for the first resurrection. Yeah. Gotta have knowledge. See, I will keep eating this word till I become the word.
That's why I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
Sometimes it can be hard, but we gotta be strong.
New vessel.
Can't hold fast what's good.
New vessel.
We're working for that spiritual body, that body that lives forever.
After these tests, we gon' live forever. I'm staying faithful in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body. That's what I want. Every day I'm getting the word, getting full of this knowledge. I'm getting so full. I'm staying faithful in this truth, cause I want my spiritual body. I want my spiritual. Staying ready for the first resurrection.
Spiritual body.
Gotta have knowledge. Gotta have knowledge.
You must do it today. Whatever Yah has put in you, be confident in it. All of those gifts, every last drop, you must do it today. 'Cause Yah's Ruach is yearning to move He's been waiting so long for you. Oh, obedience, don't delay. Don't delay. Don't delay. You must do what he's called you to do today. Has it been scratching at you? Has it been tapping on your shoulder? Has it been nudging at you? Oh, get up and do and move and be free, 'cause you must do it today. You must do it today. You must do it. Obedience.
What do I desire? I desire to just praise the Most High. You know, I desire to praise Him at His holy throne. You know,
I wanna see my name written in the book of life.
I want my name written in the Lamb's
Oh
book.
yeah.
That would be nice.
I wanna worship at your holy throne.
That's right. Yeah.
I wanna see the one who created me from the foundations of the earth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
I wanna see that glorious place.
So beautiful. Yeah.
That we read about in the book of Revelation. That new earth and heaven.
While we flying on clouds. See all the new firmaments. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I desire.
I wanna dance like David did for your father.
We spin around for you
all day while I'm praising your name
in that new holy garment. Yeah.
This is what I desire. I desire.
That's what I want.
I wanna sing in your heavenly choir.
Yeah.
I wanna sing at your right side, on your left side, the place you prepared.
Just stare at you all day.
Hey, I wanna be in that new heaven and see that new earth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just flying on them clouds.
I want my name written in the Lamb's book of life.
Please, Father.
Oh, can my name be in the Lamb's book of life?
My name be in the book.
I wanna hear them holy angels sing.
Yeah.
Quadash, Quadash is the Lord of hosts.
Quadash, Quadash is the Lord of hosts.
Is the Lord of hosts. I wanna sing for you. at your holy throne all day. Father,
That's what I desire.
can my name be written in the Lamb's Book of Life? Please, oh Father, this is what I desire. I wanna sing in your heavenly choir.
Yes, I'd like to say shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom to everybody, brothers, sisters, all Israel. Thank the Most High for this beautiful Shabbat day. And also we'd like to ask the Most High to continue to heal and to bless our brothers and sisters that are sick, that needs prayers, healings, blessings, that the Most High restore and heal and bless our brothers and sisters that are sick. Because we need those healing and blessings in these last and perilous days. And so I'd like to start off my class. But before I start off my class, as usual, I will start off with Psalms. We're going to read Psalms 148. But today's topic is going to be a topic that's being discussed by scientists, politicians, celebrities, and some of the just basic people in the earth, as far as global warming. What is global warming? So my subject is this. Hey, scientists, is this really global warming? Or is this really the Most High's judgments? That's the topic of my class. So we're going to go delve into that topic today about global warming. Why is global warming happening? And what's causing global warming? So, but before I jump into that, let's go to the book of Psalms 148. The book of Psalms 148, and I'm going to give the Most High his props, because all things is through the Most High. And we see that the scientists of this earth, the rulers, don't love to give the Most High no credit or acknowledge the Most High. So they will conveniently say it's global warming. But let's read Psalms 148, and then from there we'll move into our various subject matter.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 48 and
148.
148?
Yes, sorry, Psalms 148 and the first verse. Starting from the first verse, yes.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 148 and 1. Praise ye the Alawam. Praise ye the Alawam from the heavens. Praise him in the heights.
Right, so praise the Most High from the heavens and praise him from the heights. Continue.
Praise ye him, all his angels.
See, even the angels praise and rejoice in the Most High. And the Most High said, if we didn't praise him, he said the angels will do it. And the angels praise the Most High continually every day. All right? So read that verse again.
Praise ye him, all his angels. Praise ye him, all his hosts.
Right, so the angel of the hosts of the Most High, they praise the Most High continually. They do the Most High's bidding. Continue.
Praise ye him, sun and moon.
See, the sun and moon praises the Most High. How does the sun praise the Most High? When the sun comes out every day to shine and give light upon the earth. That's how the sun praises the Most High. How does the moon praise the Most High? The moon does its daily function every night when the moon comes out. So the sun, the moon, all these things praise the Most High by doing what the Most High commanded them to do. Continue.
Praise him, all ye stars of light.
Right, the stars of light even praise the Most High. All the Most High creation praises the Most High except man. Continue.
Praise him, ye heavens of heavens, and ye waters that be above the heavens.
Right, so there's waters in the heavens, unseen waters, which is known as mist, vapor, gas, right? So there's many different forms of waters, right? So the waters that's in the heavens even praise the Most High. When it rains, that's the heavens praising the Most High. The rain, that's part of the Most High praise. Continue.
Let them praise the name of the Alawam, for he commanded, and they were created.
See, let them praise the name of the Most High, for he commanded, and they were created. The Most High commanded, and all these things were created to praise the Most High and to do his bidding. Continue.
He had also established them forever and ever. He had made a decree which shall not pass.
Right, so the Most High made a decree that shall not pass. Okay? The Most High decreed that certain waters doesn't pass, only unless there's a what you call a full moon that causes tidal waves. But the Most High made he made a decree that the water cannot come in and totally destroy the earth. You go to the beach and see when you go to the beach, you see the waves comes in and it stops to a certain point, then it goes back because the Most High made that decree. Continue.
Praise the Alawan from the earth, ye dragons in all deeps, fire and hail, snow and vapors, stormy wind fulfill his word.
Right, so all these things is part of the Most High creation. All these things praise the Most High, all right? The fire, hail, snow, vapors, stormy wind fulfilling his word. All these things praise the Most High when the Most High gives them the orders to do these things. Continue.
Mountains and all hills, fruitful trees and all cedars, beasts and all cattle, creeping things and flying fowl, kings of the earth and all people, princes and all judges of the earth.
And they're supposed to be praising the Most High. Kings, rulers of the earth, the people of the earth, princes and judges of the earth. They're supposed to praise the Most High, but they don't do that. They put politics, they put democracy, they put their technology, they put all their achievements before the Most High and put the Most High somewhere back in a hidden closet. Oh, God doesn't exist. He has nothing to do with what we're doing. But you're going to find out very soon, the Most High is the reason for everything that's taking place in this earth. Continue.
Both young men and maidens, old men and children, let them praise the name of the Alawan, for his name alone is excellent.
For his name alone is excellent. The Most High's name alone is excellent. Continue.
His glory is above the earth and heaven.
See, the Most High glory is above the earth and the heavens. Continue.
He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
So he's showing you who his saints are, the children of Israel. Continue.
A people near unto him. Praise ye the Alawan.
Praise ye the Most High Yahweh. All right? So that's why we have to praise the Most High, because the Most High works is being fulfilled and done in the earth, whether man wants to accept it or acknowledges it. So we're gonna go into a subject matter, talk about a little while about global warming, because we went out on the street. We had one of our brother, Shakwat Rakar and Zakwan Apash. We went out on the streets and we asked the people, what do they think about global warming? Is global warming, is what's taking place in the earth, is it based upon what the white man says global warming, or is this the Most High's judgment? So we interviewed a couple of our people, sisters, asked their opinion, their question to see where they are. Because lots of our people is lost to what's really taking place in the earth. So we went out and we asked our sisters, some of our brothers, what is global warming? What do they understand about global warming? So Zakwan Apash, let's hit that intro. All right, so Zakwan Apash is going to pull up that interview with
Shalom, shalom. My name is Shakwat Rakar, and we at the House of David with another beautiful sister. Sis, what do you think about global warming? Do you think it's nature or God?
It's God. God and nature work together. God is the one who created everything. And for us global warming, some of that shit got something to do with what the white people doing also. Because you can't mess around in outer space and thinking you God. He's the only one who can create and take away. But you see, you can't tell those devil worshippers that, because they always talk about God, but they don't ever do God's work. I've been paying attention there from a kid all the way to the age that I am now. They preach about it, but they do the opposite. And at the beginning of the day, what a lot of people fail to realize, the devil was God's son too. So while you're proclaiming that you're justifying something else, you're basically worshiping something else. And it's not the same. That's why the world's jacked up the way it is. Yeah.
Thank you, sis.
You're welcome.
And we're here with this beautiful sister. Sis, what do you think about global warming? Whether you think it's God or nature?
Nature. Nature just takes its course. God did what he did. He made it the way it is, and then everything happens. The people don't take care of the earth, and nature takes its course.
So you would say it's both or just nature?
Mainly nature.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
And we have this beautiful sister. Sis, what do you think about global warming? Do you think it's God or nature?
I think it's nature.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's all you think? You don't think?
Yes, I think it's nature because times change. And also I think that God has a hand in it too. Right? Yeah.
Thank you, sis.
You're welcome.
All right. And sis, what do you think about global warming? Do you think it's God or do you think it's nature?
I feel Mother Nature and God works together, and Mother Gaia is too much out of universal alignment because there's too much negative energy on the planet. That says a lot right there, but we need to shift our energy back better to natural ebb and flow.
All right.
Back into natural alignment so that we can have a cushion for life, because if everything is topsy-turvy, there's no cushion for life.
Thank you, sis. Sis, what do you think about global warming?
Global warming, I think that there's so much going on in our world that everything that we contribute to, that we ask for in life, is a part of that. We don't understand that the things like the food, the cars, all that bullshit that we so attached to, which is a part of the matrix, honestly, I think, is what causing the effect on our planet. You feel what I'm saying? With the killing of the animals, everything, all that shit, it plays a part in it. And from my perspective, I honestly think that the universe is built to do what it's going to do regardless. So for those who are not itself, they're just going to fall victim to the same thing. Because it's going to be a cleanup one way or another. You see what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, do you think it's nature or do you think it's God himself?
I think it's a part of nature, and God is nature. You know what I'm saying? This is what he created. But like I said, it's going to work one way or another. It's going either we're going to do the cleaning up or it's going to clean up on its own. And whoever is not a part of it just going to fall victim to what caused the global warming. We got to understand and realize we are the toxic ones that make this happen to this planet. You know, we take a step back with all the things that we do. We won't have to worry about none of that at all, you know? Appreciate you, boss. Have a great one. Stay safe.
Brother, what do you think about global warming? Do you think it's God or nature?
Well, it's God, because it's a time gonna change when people getting wicked and wickeder, so everything gonna change. So, yeah, so it's God do everything. Yeah, he created the heaven, the earth, all in the sea, all in hell. So, yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
So, a little of what our people think is global warming, to see where their minds are, to see where they are, and what's taking place in the earth. And you pretty much have a little understanding of what's going on. But we're going to give more clarity and understanding to what really is global warming. But first, we're going to read the definition of what scientists, the United Nations, said is global warming. So, then you can read this to me. What is global warming? All right?
What is climate change? Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, such as though various in the solar cycle. But since the 1980s, humans' activities have been the main driver of climate change.
See, now this is what the scientists are saying. Because of human has been the major driving force to climate change. Let's continue.
primarily due to burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas.
But let me correct, there's no such thing as fossil fuel, okay? By you saying it's fossil, you're saying it's dead animals and dinosaurs that created the fuel. No, the Most High made the oil in the earth. It's no fossil fuel. That's bullcrap. That's foolishness. No amount of fossils could give you the amount of oil that's being used in the earth today. Okay? Continue.
Burning fossil fuels generates greenhouse gases.
So they said by people on the earth using oil, burning the oil, it causes greenhouse effect. Continue.
Gas emissions that act like a blanket wrapped around the earth, trapping the sun's heat and raising temperatures. Examples of greenhouse gas emissions that are causing climate change include carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, continue.
Methane. These come from using gasoline for driving a car.
See, so they said these are the contributors that's causing this problem. Continue.
Or coal for heating a building. For example, cleaning land and forests can also release carbon dioxide. Landfills for garbage are a major source of methane emissions. Energy, industry, transport, buildings, agriculture, and land use are among the main entities. Greenhouse gas concentrations are at their highest levels in 2 million years, and emissions continue to rise. As a result, the Earth is now about 1.1 Celsius warmer than it was in the late 1800s. The last decade, 2011 to 2020, was the warmest on record.
See, so they said from 2011 to now has been the warmest temperatures on record. Okay, continue.
Many people think climate change mainly means warming temperatures, but temperature rise is only the beginning of the story.
Right, so that's only the beginning of the story. Continue.
Because the Earth is a system where everything is connected. Change in one area can influence changes in all others. The consequences of climate change.
So now hear what he's saying now. This is what they're saying. The consequences of climate change or global warming, go ahead.
Now include, among other, intense droughts.
Intense droughts, go ahead. Water scarcity.
Severe fires. Rising sea levels. Floodings. Melting polar ices. Catastrophic storms.
Catastrophic storms.
And declining
biodiversity. So this is a result of what they said causes climate changes. Fires, floods, water shortages,
melting ice,
rivers drying up. So this is what they're saying, global warming causes these things. But this is his excuse to put the blame on global warming. But we know what's causing these things, all right? So we're going to hold his definition for now, right? Now, Zakwan Napash, let's go and show you the drought scenes that's taking place in the earth, all right? We're going to show you some of the drought scenes that's taking place in Europe. We see the rivers in Europe is drying up, the Danube, the Rhine, the Po. Okay, over in China, we see the Yangtze River. Over in the United States, we see the Colorado, Lake Mead. All these rivers are drying up. So he said global warming is causing these things. But we that's in the truth know what's causing it and who is doing it. All right? So go ahead, Zakwan Apache. Let's start with that. All right? So what is global warming according to the United Nations, according to the scientists? Let's show the videos and what's taking place with the droughts. All right? As a result, as we read here, it says the consequences of these climate change now include, among others, intense droughts, water scarcity, severe fires, rising sea levels. And we have seen in the last 3 years a lot of fires in California. Every year, California is on fire. All right? Yosemite is on fire right now. Okay? So this what they said, climate change is causing these problems. Go ahead, Zakwana Pash. Go ahead.
A huge drought is sweeping across Europe, leaving many countries witnessing their driest ever period on record. In Hungary, the river levels have dropped, water supplies are threatened, farmers are worried they do not have enough green pasture to feed their animals.
Lake Valence's bed is completely dry and cracked, and there's not much water for this goose to find. Fishing boats too lie marooned in the dirt. Data shows that this is the lowest water level ever recorded at Lake Valence in Hungary. It means that wildlife that relies on it may not survive. The water quality has deteriorated, so much so that a bathing ban was imposed on some parts of the lake. 2021 was dry too, so this year kicked off with less water than usual. Elsewhere, the river Danube is also suffering in the hot, dry weather conditions. It has dropped by 1.5 meters in 3 weeks around Budapest. There is no end in sight. Temperatures are expected to rise further, and no significant rainfall is predicted anytime soon. The heat wave is affecting water supplies to riverside settlements. The amount of drinking water that can be extracted from the aquifers is determined by the water levels of the Danube. The regional water supply company of Budapest has warned that if water consumption increases, the supply system could be in jeopardy. Water pressure could drop, or there could be temporary water shortages over a large area. Experts say the authorities need to find long-term solutions to the changing climate. Due to Hungary's relatively low altitude, water management is still optimized for the drainage of water surpluses and the rapid elimination of inland water and floods. According to WWF Hungary, at the farmland level, the solution may be to spread flood and inland water over as large an area as possible. Farmer groups and agricultural cooperatives say that the damage caused by the drought could reach $20 billion. There are likely to be low wheat yields, and crops of sunflowers and potatoes are expected to be practically ruined.
68-year-old farmer Chen Xiaohua combs through his plot of land in southwestern China. Normally, at this time in August, his sweet potato leaves would be growing thick and plentiful. Instead, they're burnt to a crisp under the sweltering sun.
All scorched, you see. Certainly cannot grow. The high temperature is slowly roasting the sweet potato leaves to death.
China's Yangtze River is quickly running dry amid a 2-month heat wave. And it's not the only one.
I'm blowing the mic, yeah. So now he's going to show you in China the Yangtze River, all right? The Yangtze River is the largest river in China. And this is that river is dry, it's drought. And so now that it's dry, what happened, it caused it to come up some Buddhist temples that was covered over with the river. Now all these Buddhist statues are being seen in the riverbed. Go ahead, Sir Ganapash, go ahead.
66 rivers across 34 counties in Chongqing region have dried up, according to state broadcaster CCTV. One district reached 113 degrees Fahrenheit on Friday, the hottest in the country. Rainfall is down 60% compared to the seasonal norm, putting the autumn harvest in jeopardy. China is taking emergency action, sending specialists to vulnerable regions to help allocate water resources. Earlier this week, the Ministry of Water Resources put out a warning about deteriorating soil moisture in several provinces. Regional governments are being urged to draw up schedules for farms to take turns tapping what water remains. The fresh water Chen has been relying on from a nearby mountain stream has dwindled to nothing in recent days. He's turned to a nearby pond, carrying buckets of water every morning to try and save his crops. But the leaves and stems continue to die. Chen says he hasn't seen the temperatures this high since a historical heat wave over a half-century ago.
This year is drier than 1960. The temperature is higher this year. It wasn't as high as this in 1960. The temperature is so high every day. We have to work in the morning. In the afternoon, we only stay in the house. We are afraid to go out.
In China, authorities are battling one of the worst droughts seen in more than 50 years. Falling river levels have left hydroelectric power stations unable to produce enough energy. As a result, emergency measures to save electricity have come into effect. Shopping centres have been ordered to close early, factories have temporarily shut down, and the lights on Shanghai's famous waterfront are to be turned off. Catherine Da Costa reports.
China's record-breaking drought has scorched farms and caused some lakes and rivers to dry up. The Yangtze River, Asia's longest waterway, is now at record low levels. Officials say hydropower reservoirs are currently down by as much as half. At the same time, a surge in...
Yeah, right. So you see those statues there? Those Buddhist statues that was submerged underwater. Now all these statues can be seen because of the drought within the last 3 months. All these relics over in Europe, the same thing too. The battleships that were sunk during World War II by Germans is starting to submerge, it's floating up now from the rivers. All right, bombs have been found. All right, so these rivers have been dried out completely so much that now that even the barges can't go across the Danube and the Rhine because of the drought. All right, go ahead, Zakwana Pash.
Demand for air conditioning has put power companies under extreme pressure. This is Shanghai's famous skyline, the riverside Bund area, a popular tourist destination, now plunged into 2 days of darkness. Restrictions have been brought in to try and ease demand for electricity.
Large cities now consume
Let's
a lot
jump
of
to the United
electricity.
States now with
Power
Lake Lee.
generation
Along forest roads in Northern California, hillsides of roaring flames turn day into night. The McKinney fire now raging during a heat wave stretching across the Pacific Northwest. The blaze exploding in size over the weekend from 1 mile to 62 square miles in just over 24 hours.
Thundercells rolled in and the fire kind of got pushed down the canyon and it got wind driven, and that's kind of where we're at now.
Homes and vehicles lost, thousands evacuated. Venus Swinson and her daughter Jada live inside of the fire zone.
So at this point, you have fire burning north, south, and along your sides.
Yeah, I mean, it could come from any angle at this point. It's just a matter of where the winds take it.
Just north, over 60 hikers on the popular Pacific Crest Trail extracted from the backcountry.
They had about 20 feet of visibility on the trail at the time that they, chose to call in and try to get some help.
While across the west, more fires flaring up, with erratic weather threatening to bring dry thunderstorms with dangerous lightning, but little to no actual rain. But at the devastating Oak Fire that burned over 100 homes, crews have finally gotten the upper hand. Meanwhile, heat alerts have been issued across Washington state and Oregon, where authorities are investigating at least 7 deaths that may have been heat-related. And Kate, this extreme heat is once again expected to quickly spread east, bringing record-breaking highs to the Midwest, to the Great Plains, and as far away as Boston and New York by as soon as midweek. Kate?
Hurricane Agatha has weakened over southern Mexico, but not before pounding southern Mexico and reportedly turning deadly. The Category 2 storm was the strongest hurricane on record to reach Mexico's Pacific coast in the month of May, and it still could regroup. In this country, at least 75 homes were damaged or destroyed by a reported tornado in Minnesota, with more severe weather on the way. Al Roker is tracking it all for us. Al, what's the latest?
Well, Lester, we're already seeing severe storms firing up from Kansas all the way down to Texas. Tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, and thunderstorm watches. For tonight, 22 million people at risk for severe weather from Saginaw down to Lubbock. Possible tornadoes, damaging winds and hail. Tomorrow, it stretches from upstate New York all the way down to Texas with, again, damaging winds, hail, and can't rule out a tornado.
This is not Mars. It is the United States of America. A drought hit United States of America. This is Lake Mead, America's largest reservoir. Its water levels have fallen to 28%. It is 175 feet lower than it used to be in the year 2000. What do you think is happening here? The US is battling extreme heat and low rainfall, and the result looks like this. Almost all of the American states are experiencing drought conditions. In some, it's severe, in some, exceptional, like in the case of Texas. Here, farmers have had to sell their cows for slaughter well ahead of schedule. Why? Because they could not afford to keep the cattle. Water sources have dried up, and there is no grass to feed the cows. Farmers in Lone Star have downed their herd size by 50%. 43% in Mexico, 41% in Oregon. 37% of American farmers have killed their existing crops. They're convinced that crops won't mature under such dry conditions. How dry are we talking about? The U.S. experienced the third hottest July on record. In parts of Texas, the average temperature was around 38 degrees. For the U.S., this is beyond normal. As we speak, 60% of West, South, and Central Plains have been hit by severe or exceptional drought. In Arizona and Nevada, the water level in the Colorado River is nearing its lowest point ever. The river supplies water to some 40 million people, both in the U.S. and in Mexico.
That's it. All right. So we see the scientists, the United Nations explanation of global warming. So read this part again here, Banyamyan.
From here?
Yeah, what's highlighted here?
The consequences of climate change now include, among others, intense droughts.
Intense droughts.
Water scarcity.
Water scarcity, go ahead.
Severe fires.
Severe fires.
Rising sea levels.
Rising sea levels.
Flooding.
Floodings.
Melting polar ice.
Melting polar ice.
Catastrophic storms.
Catastrophic storms.
Declining biodiversity.
Right. Okay. So now, before we go into that, Zakwana Pash, about the clip with America's 20 or 50 years, I want to read something in the scriptures. All right. Get me when I read a couple of scriptures. Get me Psalms 104. Psalms 104 and the 4th verse. So what we have to understand, the Most High have the angels, the unseen forces, to do his bidding. These angels are the one that's causing these effects in the earth. Okay? To hell with what the white man said with global warming. This is the Most High's judgment. Okay? Let's get something clear. This is the Most High judgment that he's pronouncing in the earth to all nations. Okay? Psalms 104, and read the first 4th verse.
Reading out the book of Psalms, chapter 104 and verse 4. Who maketh his angels spirits?
See, the Most High makes his angels spirits. So right now we can't see these angels unless the Most High open your spiritual eye to see these angels. So the Most High said he makes his angels spirits. Okay, continue.
His ministers a flaming fire.
And these ministers are a flaming fire. Okay, and they do the Most High bidding. Now go over to Psalms 103 and the 20th verse.
Reading out of the book of Psalms, chapter 103 and verse 20. Bless the Alawan, ye his angels that excel in strength.
So these angels excel in strength. Continue.
They do his commandments.
They do the Most High commandments. Whatever the Most High said, they do. They don't question and ask the Most High why I should do this. When the Most High said do it, they do it. They do the Most High commandments. Go ahead.
Hearkening onto the voice of his word.
And they hearken unto the voice of the Most High words. When the Most High gives them an order, they do the Most High order. Continue.
Bless ye the Alawan, all ye his hosts, ye ministers of his that do his pleasure.
And they do the Most High pleasure. So when the Most High tells them to go forth and bring forth the judgment and the plagues in the earth, this is what the angels do. So to hell with your global warming. But this is convenient excuse to not say this is the Most High's judgment for their evil in the earth. Continue.
Bless the Alawan, all his works, in all places of his dominion. Bless the Alawan, O my soul.
All right. So now, go to Isaiah 29 and 6. Isaiah 29 and 6. It's convenient to say global warming, all right? Do not say it is the Most High's judgment. Isaiah 29 and 6.
Reading out the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 6. Thou said, be visited of the Lord of hosts.
How are they going to be visited? It says, thou shalt be visited by the Lord of hosts. This is how the Most High is visiting the earth, by using his angels. Continue.
With thunder.
With thunder, go ahead.
And with earthquake.
With earthquake, go ahead.
And great noise.
And great noise, go ahead.
With storms.
With storm, go ahead.
And tempest.
And tempest, go ahead.
And the flames of devouring fire.
And this is how the Most High is visiting the earth. So this is the Most High doing by using his angels. Now from there, go to Revelation 16 and 1. Revelation 16 and 1.
Reading out the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 1. I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels.
So who has commanded this? The Most High has commanded his angels, the 7 angels that the Most High has on watch. Okay? These unseen forces are doing the Most High's bidding. Continue.
Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh upon the earth.
So the Most High commanded these angels to go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the where?
Upon the earth.
Upon the earth. So enough of that global warming nonsense.
Right.
Like I said, this is their convenient way of saying global warming so that people will not see that this is the Most High's judgment. So they have you believe, using all their medias, okay, all their medias, politicians, celebrities, and put out a talking point, global warming, okay? This is what they conveniently put out there to make you believe the talking points. But according to what we just read, this is the Most High's judgment by using his angels, all right? Now from there, jump to Revelation, the 16th chapter, and read the 4th verse.
Reading out the book of Revelations, chapter 16 and verse 4. And the 3rd angel poured out his vial upon the rivers.
See what the angels are doing? The angels are putting out their wrath upon the rivers. What is happening to all the rivers around the world? They're being dried up, or they're even being polluted with chemicals in it. Just recently over in Poland, there was a river that was polluted. The whole river was polluted, and all the fish was dying. Okay, continue.
And fountains of waters.
Fountains of waters, rivers, lakes. Okay, continue.
And they became blood.
And they became blood. Meaning it's poison, it's toxic. Continue.
And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Alawan, which are a waste and shall be, because thou hast judged thus.
So the Most High is bringing forth his judgment. All right. Now from there, we're going to hold that, and let's go into the 250 years of empire ruling. So now, as we see, the reason why a lot of these things are happening is mainly the main empire that's ruling this earth is America. America is the top ruling empire upon this face of the earth. So all the problems that you see, the people are saying America is responsible for all these problems. Climate change, they're blaming the American government and scientists because they are the world leaders. All right? Now, what we're going to show you here, the reason all these things is happening because America is coming to the end of its rulership.
That's right.
No empire rules the earth forever. America has been in rulership or in power since they received their independence from Great Britain in 1776. So from 1776, America has been a ruling empire. All right? But let's read about that. Pull up Zaquana Posh. We're going to show you something here about America and why these things are happening. Because we're coming to the end of America's rulership. That is Aquana Pash. All right, when you pull it up. All right, you have it. Where it says, right? It says the average empire survives for 250 years. Now, Ben and I want you to read this here. Read everything from the top. Everything that's there.
The average empire survives for 250 years.
Right. So the average empire rules for 250 years. That's the average length of most empires that rule this earth. Now, in 2026, America will be 250 years. Let's see what happens by the year 2026. As a result, we can see what's happening now. But let's see what happened in 2026. Now, let's read what he said. Now, he didn't just pull this out of thin air. He got this from extensive research that was done before by an historian that did an extensive breakdown in all world empires that rule the earth. Continue to read on.
Is America at death's door?
So the question he's asking, is America at death's door? The answer is yes.
That's right. Come.
Okay? But he put it there as a question for people to ponder and think about it. But America is at death's door. Now is the time of judgment. Continue.
News article published by Kevin by Armstrong Williams.
Armstrong Williams, he did this report. Continue.
Monday, December 27th, 2021. Studies show that an empire survives, on average, a mere 250 years.
This study has been done by historians that most empires rule for 250 years. And after that 250 years, it goes down, it declines. Okay? Continue.
Did you know that? To put that into context, the world's oldest person recently died at 124 years old. So she lived nearly half as long as most empires do. Most Americans are unaware of this small but critical statistic.
So what he says, most Americans are aware of this vital statistics. They are unaware or ignorant because they're not being taught true history in school. What they've been taught is white lies, revised history, okay, and things that sounds good to appease the American public. Read that part again.
Most Americans are unaware of this small but critical statistic, which may suggest much about our country's future.
Right. The future of this country is very bleak. Continue.
It is past time for Americans to confront the painful reality that our times as a world superpower may be limited.
Right. It's coming to an end. It's going to be limited. It's coming to an end. So that's the time we live in. That's why you're seeing all these things happening in the earth. All right? And it also ties in to our 400-year prophecy as being slaves here in America. All that ties into the Most High's judgment. Continue.
And it is time to explore how to slow down what, frankly, it is inevitably at some point.
You can't slow this stuff down. You can't slow it down. No matter what you try to do, you're not going to slow down the Most High's judgments. It's going to take place and it's going to happen. Continue.
That the United States global domination will not persist indefinitely.
Right. It's not going to continue forever. Continue.
This may be difficult to grasp and accept, but it has never been true for any civilization in the past.
Right. It has never been true for any civilization in the past to continue ruling forever. No civilization in the past ruled forever. It came to an end. Continue.
And it will never be true for any society in the future.
Right. And it's not going to be for any society in the future. So America is coming to its end. That's why all these things are happening. But they will tell you that. They will tell you, oh, global warming, this, that, but they're not telling you the real reason why these things are happening. Okay? Okay, so go from there, go to the book of Zephaniah, the 2nd chapter. Zephaniah 2:11. But before you get Zephaniah 2:11, go to Zephaniah 3 and 5. Right, read Zephaniah 3 and 5 first. Right after Habakkuk.
Okay, Zephaniah 3 and 5.
Yes.
Reading out the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 5. The just Alawan is in the midst thereof.
All right, so we hear that. The just Alawan, the just Most High, the power is in the midst thereof. Go ahead.
He will not do iniquity. Every morning he bringeth his judgment to light.
So it says, every morning does the Most High bring his judgment to light. So every day the Most High bring forth his prophecies and his judgments in the earth. Go ahead.
He faileth not.
He faileth not. Go ahead.
But the unjust knoweth no shame.
See, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Who's the unjust? The rulers of the earth. They know no shame. So they will say global warming. Oh, this is not an act of God. They will give you every excuse. Okay? Read that verse again.
Zephaniah 3 and 5. The just Alawan is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light.
So the Most High bring it forth to light so the world can see what's happening. All these events that's happening worldwide, the Most High is showing the earth. And he's forcing them to put these things up on the media to show you what's happening in the earth. So every day, every morning, the Most High bring forth his judgment to light. It comes to light where everybody could see what's taking place. Continue.
He faileth not.
The Most High fails not. Go ahead.
But the unjust knoweth no shame.
But the unjust knows no shame. All right? Now go to Zephaniah 2 and 11.
Reading out the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Verse 11.
Verse 11. God. The Alawan will be terrible unto them.
So the Most High said, the Most High shall be terrible unto them. Who's of them? The people of the earth. Continue.
For he will famish all the powers of the earth.
He will famish all the gods of the earth. How is the Most High famishing the gods of the earth? By bringing the floods, the droughts, the severe storms. Okay? So read that part again, the 11th verse again.
The Alawan will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the gods of the earth, and men shall worship him, every one from his place, even all the isles of the heathens.
They're going to praise the Most High when they continue to see that this is the Most High's judgment. Continue.
Ye.
That's it. Now from there, go to the book of Job. The book of Job. Now, to show you how that they partly know that they're guilty for destroying and polluting the earth, let's go to the book of Job. All right, Job. Let's go over here to Job 20 and start from the 26th verse. Job 20 and 26.
Reading out the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacles.
Right. So the Most High says shall go ill with him that's left in his tabernacle. So it's not going right with him. We've seen all the signs of what's taking place in the earth. All right, continue.
The heaven shall reveal his iniquity.
So now the heavens is revealing his iniquity. The heaven is revealing what he has done to the earth. Okay, so the heaven is revealing his iniquity. Go ahead.
And the earth shall rise up against him.
How is the earth rising up against him? Earthquakes. What they call so-called natural disasters, droughts, floods, storms. Okay? There were floods in Pakistan. Okay? There were floods in Texas. Okay? So one part is dry as hell and one part is being flooded. floods in Mississippi. Okay? So all these things, the earth is rising up against him. Continue.
The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from Yahweh, and the heritage appointed unto him by Yahweh.
See that? What's that burning here? Something burning? Oh. All right. So it said, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. And this is what being appointed to these countries and kingdoms and nations in the earth by the Most High. Now, by default, he's actually saying he has destroyed the earth by using what? His fossil fuels, his coals, all right? And how do we know that's partly true? Let's go to the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, Revelation 11. Revelation, the 11th chapter, right?
Come.
And let's read here on the 18th verse.
Reading out the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 18.
Start from the 17th verse.
Reading out the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and 17. Saying, we give thee thanks, O Alawan, thy power, Almighty, which art and waste and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power, and hast regained.
And has reigned.
And the nations were angry.
And the nations are angry now because they can't find no solution to their problems. The nations are facing global crisis, economical problems, fuel shortage. We see what's happening in Europe. Russia has cut off the European countries from fuel. Now Europe has to reduce and cut back the electricity power. The streets are in dark. You got to cut back air conditioning. So all the nations are angry now because they're being tightly gripped by crisis that's facing the earth. All right? Go ahead.
And thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants.
And that's what we're waiting for, to get a reward from the Most High. The Most High is going to give us a reward if we continue and uphold what the Most High says to do, to keep his laws, keep his faith. There's a reward in the end for this, for the Most High elect. Okay? The reward is not doing the things that the world do, but to be separate. And that's a hard thing to do. But there's a reward for that in the end. You say, man, you being a chump. But there's a great reward in the end for being righteous. Being wicked and evil is the fashion to do now.
Right.
You get you get praise, you're highly esteemed. Everybody look up to you. But when you're righteous, yo, man. But that's a reward in the end. And that's a hard thing to do right now, to be righteous. Because the norm now is to be wicked, to be evil. Continue, being gay. That's the fashion. That's the high price now, to be a transgender. Okay? You get more props. Continue.
The prophets and the saints and them that fear thy name.
So the Most High said to give reward unto them, unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints. We're going to receive a reward. Continue.
Small and great.
Small and great. From the least to the greatest. Continue.
And should have destroyed them which destroyed the earth.
And that's what's happening. The Most High is going to destroy them that destroy the earth. And these devils have destroyed the earth.
That's right.
Now they're passing this off as global warming. The Most High is going to destroy them for destroying this earth. They're not going to escape the Most High's judgment. And that's what we're facing now. The Most High's judgment. Now the Most High is bringing his judgment into effect. And they want to give all kind of excuse. Yes, go ahead.
Revelation 18.
Right. Bring it. Great. All right? So they're trying to give every plausible excuse and convenient way to say global warming. But the Most High have you recorded for what you have done to this earth. You go back 200 years and you'll see the earth back then to now is totally different. There wasn't no pollution in the earth. The earth wasn't polluted. So who's responsible for that? Okay? Who's responsible for the pollution of the earth and the destruction of the earth? Western technology, Western influence, right. Western domination of the earth.
That's right.
You so-called Europeans, you're supposed to blame for what happened in the earth.
Right.
You go back 200 years, the earth was never like this. Even 150 years. But since this white man came up with his technologies in the 1800s, the earth had been polluted and destroyed. I remember when I was young, coming up, watching TV, used to have this commercial, used to show all the time, every commercial break. They'll show an Indian going out to the river, and he would cry when he see all the garbage and pollutant in the river. And why was the Indian crying? Because he said the white man took his land and his earth and destroyed it or polluted it.
That's right.
And it showed the Indian crying because he saw the rivers polluted. And you devils have polluted this earth and destroyed this earth. Now you think you're going to get away with that? Now you're worrying about, oh, we all have to pitch in and help a global warming? Hell no.
That's right.
Hell no. You're not going to stop the Most High's judgment.
Right.
And the Most High is bringing his judgment, and you can't do a damn thing to stop it.
Right.
Okay? And we praise the Most, and we're glad that the Most High is showing his judgment in the earth. And you can't get around it. And the Most High have you showing on all the internet, all the medias, what's taking place in the earth. Okay? Man, the droughts. You see China have to shut down production in the big plants. They can't have no electricity going because the river uses hydroelectricity to give them electricity. Just like in Colorado, in Lake Mead. That Hoover Dam, it pulls so much water to give electricity. It said the Hoover Dam is down to mere minimum. They said now, in the Hoover Dam and over there, they're finding bodies that the mafia killing dumping there. Okay? That shows you how dry it has gotten. Okay? How dry it has gotten. Okay? Over in Europe, the Rhine, the Danube, the Thames, all those rivers, man, was so massive that now all the World War II German ships that they sunk in World War II is being seen now.
What happened in France?
In France. Because they said those rivers is like 500 feet deep. Now it's down where you could see battleships that were sunk. Okay? So I'm showing you how much the Most High is bringing forth his judgment in the earth. And it's going to cause massive economical problems, famines. Okay? So all this is the Most High judgment in the earth. And they're worried. They're trying to come with solutions to the problems. Okay? Spain, Italy, France, Germany, all these European countries are in drought. Okay? At one point in England, it said it was so hot that the airports were melting. The runways were melting. Okay? So the Most High is bringing his severe drought on this earth. Yes, Mike? In Africa, in South Africa, snowstorms. It's snowing in South Africa. Yeah. And in Saudi Arabia too, man. Saudi Arabia was flooded. Okay? Yeah, Judah. Right. Right. So the Most High have them where they can't, they're trying to find a way to this solution. But the only way they have to find this solution, they have to go to war. They have to go to war to end all this problem. And that's why the Most High is going to drag them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right.
Because it's going to be boiled down to what? To fuel economy, to fuel the economy. Yes, Ainwa. The Euphrates and the Tigris is drying up. That's why the Most High is going to dry it up so he could bring them down into that. We're going to read about that too. So the Most High have them in a trip bag that is no way around it. The only way is to go to war. Right. The angels control. The Most High got the angels. We're going to go back to Revelation and we're going to read that whole chapter, what the Most High is doing. The Most High have the angels out there. He said 7 angels. He's unleashing these 7 angels to bring forth the vials of his wrath in the earth. And guess what? The scientists, the elite rulers, they know this. But they don't want the people to be educated of the Most High's biblical understanding of the Bible. So they'll conveniently give you that nonsense of our global warming, to have you destroy and confuse. And remember, we showed you, we interviewed the people on the street. Some have a kind of understanding of what's going on, and some saying nature, Mother Nature. Okay? But they're partly right in what they're saying. Like one sister said, yeah, these devils, how they went going out to space and trying to destroy the earth. All right? Some say, yeah, nature is part of the Most High. This is the Most High. See, but within our people's spirit, we know it's the Most High judgment. But we're being caught up in what the media is telling us.
Right.
In our spirit, we know this is what they call God's judgment in the earth for man's wickedness. But they're following the media. Oh, they're talking points. I had a report showing you that that was the job of the elites to put out a talking points to all celebrities, politicians, journalists, to put out there. It's called global warming, and not to say it has anything to do with God. Keep God out the equation, but keep using that talking points. Mother Nature, global warming. Okay? That's part of the initial plan to keep the people ignorant to the Most High's judgment.
That's right.
But to us in here, we shouldn't be ignorant to that. We should understand that this is the Most High's judgment. Okay? We can't be ignorant to that fact. Okay? Would you hold something for me?
No, I finished that. It's on 18.
What are you reading? Revelation 11:18?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay, that's good. Let's go to Jeremiah, the 14th chapter. Jeremiah 14:22. And also get Jeremiah 50 and 38. But let's read Jeremiah 50 and 38 first. Jeremiah 50:38.
Reading out of the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 38. A drought is upon her waters.
See what the Most High said? This has been prophesied. The Most High said a drought is upon their waters. All right? He was referring also to Babylon, ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon was wicked just like this modern day Babylon. So the Most High said a drought is upon their waters. Go ahead.
And they shall be dried up.
And they shall be dried up. What's happening in China, in Colorado, in Europe? All right? The rivers are being dried up. Go ahead.
For it is the land of graven images.
For it is the land of graven images. Okay? Now read the 23rd verse. Jeremiah 50 and 23.
Reading out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder?
Who's the hammer of the whole earth right now? Who said it? America is the hammer of the entire earth. What is that hammer? That hammer represents what? The power that executes judgment and order in the earth. Okay? So America is the hammer of the earth, just like ancient Babylon was during that time. So the Most High said, read that verse again.
How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?
Mm-hmm.
How is Babylon become a desolation?
And that's what's coming to Babylon, America, a desolation. Okay? Now, to show you that the Most High is so great, right? If they were so good with all their technology, all these places that are facing drought, why couldn't their technology bring rain or cause water in those areas?
Right.
Why is Lake Mead drought?
Right.
Okay? Why is there no rain in certain parts of Texas and California? If they're so great in their technology, go to Jeremiah 14:22, because none of these devils can cause it to rain. Only the Most High can cause it to rain.
Right.
Only the Most High has that power. With all their technology, they can't bring no rain.
Right.
Okay? And the Most High has proven to them that they're scientists, they're witch doctors, and all these people that claim to talk something about global warming, they don't control nothing. Read Jeremiah 14:22.
Read from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 22. Are there any among the vanities of the Gentiles?
Stop right there. Here's a question the Most High is asking. Is there any among the vanities of the Gentiles? With all their technology that they have, is there any among the vanities of the Gentiles? Go ahead.
That can cause rain.
That can cause rain. Could any of them make it rain? Could any of these Gentiles, China, Japan, Russia, America, can they cause it to make rain in the earth? The answer is no. Go ahead.
Or can the heavens give showers? Are not thou knows? Are not thou he, O Alawan, our
It's the
power?
Most High that caused it to rain. Okay? Why don't they acknowledge that? That is the Most High that caused it to rain, not Mother Nature. The Most High. Continue. Read again. Read again from the top.
Are there any among the vanities of the Gentiles that can cause rain? Or can the heavens give showers? Art not thou he, O Alawan, our power? Therefore, we will wait upon thee.
And we have to wait upon the Most High. It's the Most High that gives rain. During the time when Elijah was on the earth as a prophet, the Most High told Elijah, because of the wickedness of Israel, he said, go and pray that it rain not upon the earth. For 3 years and 6 months, almost 4 years, the Most High told Elijah, go and pray that it rain not. Then when that almost 4 years came to a point, the Most High said, Elijah, go back and pray that it rain upon the earth. And it rained upon the earth. So the Most High answered Elijah's prayer, and the Most High told Elijah, go and pray that it rain not upon the earth. So it's only the Most High could bring rain upon the earth, where there's a desolate or dry area. Man can't do that, because if they could have done it, Lake Mead wouldn't have been dry.
Right.
The Rhine wouldn't have been dry, the Danube, or the Yangtze River. But it's the Most High that brings rain. And the Most High is showing man that they're full of it. They have no power, and they're vulnerable, and man is nothing. Man is nothing without the Most High. Right. Read that verse again.
Reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 22. Are there any among the vanities of the Gentiles that can cause rain? Or can the heavens give showers?
Yeah, can the heavens give shower? Can they go up there and say, oh, we're going to cause a chemical particle to cause rain? That doesn't work. Go ahead.
Art not thou he, O Alawan, our power? Therefore, we will wait upon thee, for thou hast made all these things.
The Most High made that. The Most High controls that, not man. The Most High controls the heavens that give rain, right? And the Most High want man to know that you don't control the elements. I do that, okay? Because if they could have done it, none of these rivers would have been dry. But man depends and needs the Most High. But do they frequently do not want to include the Most High in nothing that they deal with? Right. They want to keep the Most High out the picture and think that they could do it all by themselves, by their own technology and their philosophy. But the Most High is going to prove and show to man, you're nothing without the Most High. Especially our people, we have to know that we can't do nothing without the Most High, and we're not going nowhere without the Most High. Okay? The Most High is the main thing. He is the power of the earth. Right. Go to Jeremiah 23 and 29. I'll read that verse. Jeremiah 23, 29.
Reading out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 29. Is not my word like as a fire?
The Most High said, is not my word as fire? The Most High word is like fire. Okay, it consumes. Read again.
Is not my word like as fire, said the Alawan, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces?
And the Most High said his word is like fire, and it's like a hammer that break the rock in pieces. So the Most High word is going to take effect in this earth. Not man and their foolish saying and they are wise sayings. The Most High word takes effect. Read that verse again.
Reading out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and 29. Is not my word like as a fire, said the Alawan, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces.
And the Most High word breaks, is like a rock. It breaketh in pieces. Continue.
Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, said the Alawan, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, said the Alawan, that use their tongues and say, he said.
Yeah, that's what they say. He said, he said, he said. They love to say in church, ha, and he said, ha, ha. But they ain't reading the Most High word. Okay, continue.
Behold, I am against them that prophesize false dreams.
Right, prophesy false dreams, like America gives people a lot of false dreams. We're going to fix the problems in America. Can't fix the problems. It's too late now. It's too late. The judgment is set. Okay? The Most High has pronounced his judgment in the earth. Lose that. Go to Isaiah the 13th chapter. Isaiah the 13th chapter. The Most High has pronounced his judgment in the earth. But before you go to Isaiah 14 and read Isaiah 14 and read the 26th verse.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 26. This is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth.
See what the Most High is saying now? This is what the Most High has to say. Continue.
And this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations.
So whose hand is stretched out? The Most High's hand is stretched out upon all nations. Okay? Not no global warming. The Most High's hand. Using the angels to bring forth his judgment. Read again from the top.
This is the purpose that's proposed upon the whole earth. And this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations.
Upon all the nations. Go ahead.
For the Alawan of hosts have proposed, and who shall disannul it, and his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back?
And who's going to turn back what the Most High has proposed upon this earth? Nobody. Okay? The Most High proposed it, and it's going to be done. Now let's go to Isaiah 13, and you're going to start from the top.
Read from the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the sons of Amos, did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
And where's the high mountains? Where's the high mountain today? America. America is that high mountain, that high government. Back in ancient time, who was the high mountain? We were the nation of Israel. We were the high mountain representing the Most High. Okay, go ahead.
Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones.
Who are the sanctified ones? They are the angels. The angels are the sanctified ones. All right, go ahead.
I have also called my mighty ones for my anger.
See? For my anger. Because the Most High is angry. Go ahead.
Even them that rejoice in my highness.
See? The angels rejoice in the Most High's highness. Go ahead.
The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Alawan of hosts mustered the host of the battle.
The Most High is mustering the host of this battle. That's what's coming upon the earth. Okay? It's going to get to the point where nations is going to be vying for economical power to sustain themselves. Okay? Because when Russia put on more of that pressure on Europe, and winter comes in, it's going to be a hell of an ordeal, brother. They're going to need their fuel, okay? And they're going to be rushing to get their fuel from where? From the Middle East, from the east. Because Russia is going to tighten up, Russia is going to eventually cut it off to a certain degree, all right? Because either they join Russia or suffer loss. And that's what Russia is. Russia is turning off the fuel supply to these European countries, okay? And that's going to cause all these nations to fight to get that oil. Okay? That's why the Most High is going to bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That oil is the gold of the earth.
Right, right.
Okay? That's what it's going to boil down to. Continue.
5. They come far. They come from a far country, from the ends of heaven, even the Alawan and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. How ye, for the day of the Alawan is at hand.
And that's what's at hand. The day of the Most High is at hand. Continue.
It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
And that's what we're seeing. We're building up to that great destruction. Okay? It's a build up to that great destruction. That's why the Most High said this earth is going to be a lake of fire. See, this place is going to be burnt up, man. Okay? All the major contributors, the volcanoes, okay? The pipelines that's underground, okay? When that missiles hit, that's going to turn this place into a lake of fire, burning, okay? That's why the Most High said this day is going to be a horrible day, okay? It's going to be a horrible and a vicious day. Continue. Read on.
7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
And that's going to happen. Every man's heart is going to melt. Continue.
And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Alawan cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger.
See what's coming upon the earth? With fierce anger, cruel. Continue.
To lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
Who controls that? The Most High. That's why he tells you in Psalms 148, praise ye, you sun, you moon, you stars of light. They praise the Most High. Man has no control over that. Scientists and their technology can't control the sun or the moon or stars. I want to see one day that a scientist could stop the sun from shining. When that happens, then I'll say there's not a God. Okay? When that happened, when he could stop the sun from shining or the moon from coming out, then I said there's not a God. But I know they can't stop that, and they can't stop the Most High's creation. They can't prevent the sun from shining, nor the moon from coming out, or the stars of light from shining. They can't stop that. They can't alter or destroy that. With all their technology, ain't a damn thing they could do against what the Most High said. Okay? The Most High caused the sun to shine, the moon to give us light. Ain't no scientist did that. Ain't no Big Bang did that. Read that verse again.
10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
And what's going to cause this? Anybody know what's going to cause this? In the day of the Most High's second coming, when Yahushua comes with his angels. All right? The sun is going to be darkened. Okay? It's going to be a dark and gloomy day. Continue.
And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
See that? The Most High says he's going to cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. Those are always boasting and talking about science, technology. But don't give the Most High no props. The Most High says he's going to cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. Continue.
And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Of Ophir. These were precious gold. Ophir. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall be removed out of her place in the wrath of the Alawan of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. 14. And it shall be as the chase
rule,
and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people.
And that's coming very soon. Every man's going to turn back to his own people eventually. Continue.
And flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through. Every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Everyone that's joined to Esau, trying to love him and fight and defend for him, you're going to fall by the sword. Okay, go ahead.
The children also shall be dashed to pieces.
See that? The Most High said the children shall be dashed to pieces. Okay, go ahead.
Before their eyes.
Before their eyes. They're going to witness this. Go ahead.
Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
See, and that was speaking about ancient Babylon, as well as referring to this modern day Babylon. So the excellency, the Chaldees, the excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So the same way Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed is the same way this place is going to be destroyed by fire. Okay? And the Most High speaks about fire all throughout this Bible. Fire. That's the final destruction that's headed for this earth. Fire. Okay? All right? From there, now let's go to Revelation, the 16th chapter. Revelation 16. And we'll start from the top again.
Read from the book of Revelations, chapter 16 and verse 1. I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh upon the earth.
So that's what the angels are doing. So that's what these unseen angels are doing today. Right? So science and the United Nations, America, they all say it's global warming. But it's not global warming. It's the angels of the Most High bringing forth their judgment. Continue.
And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon men, which had the mark of the beast.
And the mark of the beast, all right? It consists of a lot of things, but it mainly consists of those that take that RFID chip in the end. That microchip, right? Because that microchip is going to be the final outcome that man is going to either live or die, right? Because like I said, no man could buy or sell, save they what? Have that mark. And that mark is going to be an implantation of that chip. It's going to allow you to have access to the system. Okay, that's what it's boiling down to a high-tech system, what they call artificial intelligence, right? Their currency is going to be phased out for a new currency. That's what they're working on. And unless you don't have access to that currency and that system, you can't partake of the system. Right? They want to have total control over the system and the people that's in the system. That's what it's boiling down to. Continue.
And upon them which worship his image.
And what is his image? His new world order. His new world order is a new system of technology and ideas that's being phased in. All right, continue.
And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man. And every living soul died in the sea.
So the angels is plaguing this earth. The seas, the land. Okay, continue.
And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the water say, Thou art righteous, O Alawan, which are in waste and shall be, because thou hast judged thus.
See, the Most High is judging them for what they have done. Continue.
For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets.
That's what they did. They shed our blood and still shedding our blood. All right, continue.
And thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy.
And the Most High is going to give them back their own reward of what they have done to us. Continue.
And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Alawan, thy power, almighty, true and righteous are they judgments.
See, true and righteous are your judgments. So it's the Most High's judgments in the earth. Continue.
And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire.
So who controls the sun? The Most High, using the angels. He's giving the angels charge over the sun. All right? So the Most High told the angel, go ahead, make it hotter. Make it 110 degrees. Turn it up. Scorch their behinds. They don't want to acknowledge me? Scorch them up. Give them cancer. Yeah, give them monkeypox. Give them melanoma. You don't want to acknowledge me? Okay, angels, go ahead. Pour your vials upon the earth. Continue.
And men were scorched with great heat.
And men were scorched with great heat. All throughout this summer, men were scorched with great heat. And it's going to intensify. This is just the beginning of what we see him. Continue.
And blasphemy the name of Yahweh.
And they're still blaspheming the name of the Most High. Still blaspheming. Continue.
Which have power over these plagues.
So who has power over these plagues? The Most High using the angels. Continue.
And they repented not to give him glory.
See? And they repented not to give the Most High glory. So what the Most High has to do? Kill him. Kill him. Get rid of him. Continue.
And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast.
Where's the seat of the beast? Where's the seat of the beast? Everybody know? Right. America is the seat of the beast. It's the top seat of all kingdoms upon the face of the earth. All right? But let me give you an example to that, right? Go to Isaiah 10. All right? Now remember, and I also get in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes 10 and 4. I want to show you something. Reason why we said America is the seat of the beast. When every empire or kingdom rules, the Most High sets up that empire, the leaders, and the rulership of that kingdom. All right? Isaiah 10, hold Isaiah 10, and go to Ecclesiastes 10 and 4. I want to show you something. I mean, I say, bro, you're being biased. The seat of the beast is not America. But I'm going to show you. At one time, the seat of the beast was what? England. Because England controlled and ruled the earth. England had more control of the earth than any other empire or kingdom on the face of the earth. Wherever you went in the earth, everybody gave allegiance to the Queen of England. England. Okay? Canada was once owned by England. America was once owned by England. Okay? When you go out to Australia, New Zealand, okay, the islands in the Caribbean, it was once owned by England. They're known as what? Commonwealth. And to show you how they prove that, they had just recently the sports games called the Commonwealth Games. And they're showing you all the nations and islands and people that were under the English rule. And they call them Commonwealth nations. Right? So England was that power that ruled the earth. Then America took over the torch from Great Britain. And when did America take over that torch from Great Britain? In what year? 1776. So America became now the top dog in the earth. America finances and give aid to almost every nation upon the face of the earth. Name me a nation in the earth America doesn't give economical aid to.
Us.
Every nation in the earth gets economical aid from America. Even Africa too. All right? The puppet nation that they set up. You understand? Okay? But America gives aid to all these nations. And America rebuilt a lot of these nations after World War II. Germany, France, Russia, Japan. Okay? So America is the top dog that promotes their democracy all throughout the face of the earth. And all the nations look up to America as a what? That beacon of democracy, freedom. I want to go to America. Chinese, Koreans, all nations, we want to go to America. When they're being persecuted, where do they go? Where do they go for asylum? Did they go for Russia to asylum? No, they come to America. We want political asylum. They come to America. All right? So read Ecclesiasticus 10 and 4.
Reading out the book of the Apocrypha. Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10 and verse 4. The power of the earth.
See now, he said the power of the earth, go ahead,
is in the hand of the Alawam.
It's in the power of the Most High. Spiritually, the Most High controls the entire earth. And he gives the power to who he wants. Continue.
And in due time.
And in due time.
He will set over it one that is profitable.
See, and in due time he will set one over it that is profitable for him that he see fit to rule the earth. Okay? One time he gave us to rule the earth under David and Solomon, but we never rule as what? As a global power. But very soon we're going to rule as a global power in the earth. We were a sovereign nation, but all other nations became a power in the earth to rule this earth. All right, go ahead.
In the hand of the Most High, it is the prophecy.
Okay, that's good. All right, so the Most High sets up over it. Now go to Daniel 4:17. Hold that, go to Daniel 4:17. I'm bringing up the point to show you the seat of the beast represents America. That's the top ruling empire or kingdom in the earth. Daniel 4:17.
4:17.
Got it? Daniel 4:17.
Reading out of the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers.
And who are the watchers? The angels. The angels play a vital role in everything that goes on in the earth, in the spiritual and the physical. Continue.
And the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whosoever he will.
See, and the Most High gives the rulership of the earth to whomsoever he wills. Go ahead.
And sitteth up over it the basis of men.
And the Most High sets up the basis of men to rule. So the Most High could use a monkey a lowlife to rule this earth eventually. And you know who's that monkey, right? And he set him up to rule this earth and control this earth. So read that verse again.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know.
That the living may know. The living may know this. Go ahead.
That the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
And he sets up the kingdom, whether he give the base of man, the Lord, the basis of man to rule this earth. The Most High could do that. The Most High could take you from those caves and make you rule this entire earth and put everybody in subjugation. Whoever believed that Egypt, Africa, a monkey, a base man will rule over the African nations. But you'll never believe that. 500 years ago, that would seem impossible, right? But it came to pass because the Most High did it. The power of the Most High did it for a particular reason. All right? Now let's go to Isaiah 10. I want to show you something. All right, Isaiah the 10th chapter. Now, during the time of Isaiah, the Most High built up the Assyrian. All right, the Assyrian to be a power in the earth. And America is compared to the Assyrian Empire as well. Because the Assyrian Empire was famous for what? Its military power and its viciousness, how it took down nations. The Assyrians were famous for moving nations out of their land and putting them to different lands. And when you fought against that, they would impale you, hang you up, and kill you viciously, man. The Assyrian was a vicious nation, man. Okay, when they ruled, they didn't show no mercy. All right, so I'm going to show you an example. Isaiah 10, right? Why I'm saying America is the beast, is that seed of the beast. Isaiah 10, and start here from the 5th verse.
Reading out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 5. O Assyrians, the rod of my anger.
So the Most High said, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger. Go ahead.
And the staff in their hand is my indignation.
Everybody know what that means? Everybody know what that means, right? Korah, what does that mean?
O Syrian, the rod of my anger is vicious.
Now, explain this or read this here and explain what it says right here.
O Assyrian, rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation.
Now, what does it mean when it says, and the staff in their hand is my indignation? What does that mean?
Give them rulership in the sense where they bring out and carry out his wrath.
That's right. Perfect. You have to, when you read the scripture, you have to understand what he's saying. Read again, the 5th verse. And you're right. That's perfectly right what you said there, Caleb.
Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in thy hand is my indignation.
And a staff represents what? Power. When you have a staff, you have power. Right? So the Most High said, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. That staff you have in your hand, you're going to be used to carry out my judgments and my anger against the nations, particularly the Israelites. The Most High used nations to beat us down, man. Who you think beat us down in 70 AD? Them damn Romans, because the Most High put it in them to beat us down, man. That's why the Most High said, he is the power, and he gives the earth to whom he will. The Most High is in control of that. Continue.
I will send him against an hypocritical nation.
That was us. The Most High was calling us a hypocritical nation. Go ahead.
And against the people of my wrath.
And we were the people of the Most High wrath. We made the Most High angry. The Most High was mad with us, angry. The Most High wrath was so vicious, man. The Most High said, you know what? Assyria, Sennacherib, I'm going to use you to judge my people, Israel. You're going to punish them. Go ahead.
Will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets?
The Most High said, you're going to tread them down in the mire of the streets, Assyria. Continue.
Howbeit, he meaneth not so, neither doeth his heart think so.
So they didn't want to do it. They wasn't thinking about doing that. But the Most High said, I'm going to put it in you to do it, because you're the staff of my anger. You're going to execute my judgment, my justice and judgment in the earth. Continue.
But it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations.
Yeah, but it's in him to do it. He will do it when the time comes, just like this white man is. When it comes time to execute judgment in the earth, he will do it. Send in the military. We're coming in. Saddam Hussein, Saddam, you got 24 hours to leave Iraq. How you going to tell a man he got 24 hours to leave his own country? And they went in there and they took Iraq. And they killed Saddam Hussein's 2 sons. Then eventually they kill his behind. Manuel Noriega, we're coming in. Papa Bush, they told Noriega, he called him Pineapple Face. Hey, Pineapple Face, we're coming in. Noriega. And they went into Panama. Okay? The United States is the force in the earth today. Just like the Assyrians were back then. Continue.
Not a few. For he saith, are not my princes altogether kings?
So he's boasting now about his power. Okay, go ahead.
Is not Cosmos as
Kashemis?
Is not Hamath as Arpad? Is not Samaria as Damascus?
So he's saying all these places, I destroy these places. Samaria, I'm going to make it just like Damascus. I'm going to destroy it. So he's boasting about his power and his might. Okay? But it wasn't his might that he had. The Most High gave him that power and might. Just like he gave America that power and might to rule this earth. Militarily, economically, technologically wise. Go ahead.
As my hand have found the kingdoms of the idols, in whose graven images did excel them, of Jerusalem and of Samaria, shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols?
So he's boasting, yeah, I took down Samaria. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do the same to Jerusalem. So he was all proud and happy and boastful. Okay, this was the king of Assyria. Continue.
Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole works upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks.
So see how bad the Most High is? The Most High could raise you up to punish his people, then in the end, he's going to punish you. That's how bad the Most High is. And that's what the Most High is going to do to America. The Most High raised America up to punish us, and in the end, he's going to punish them. Read that verse again.
12. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Alawan hath performed his whole works upon Mount Zion.
And what was the whole work that the Most High performed upon Mount Zion? The judgment that he brought upon us, the destruction. Continue.
And on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. For he said, by the strength of my hand, I have done it.
So what he's saying, now he's boasting, by my strength, by my power. Doesn't America say that? Our great military power. Right. We went in, we took down Saddam Hussein, we got Bin Laden, we got al-Zawahiri, we got it with our drones. They boast about their power and their technology, their military might. Okay? The Syrian was the same way. He's boasting now. This is what the Assyrian leader is saying. Read that part again, the 13th verse.
13. For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, And by my wisdom.
Yeah, by my wisdom, my great technological advancement and achievements, we have done this. Go ahead.
For I am.
Yeah, Judah. Justice has been served. We got him. We got our man. Okay? Go ahead.
For I am prudent.
I am prudent. I'm wise. Go ahead.
And I have removed the bounds of the people and have robbed their treasures.
See? Didn't America do the same thing? America robbed people, removed the boundaries, and robbed people of their treasures. They robbed the Indians, okay? They went around the world and robbed all nations. And you wonder why nations are called third world nations. Because America and England has robbed the earth. Mainly us, they robbed us. Continue.
And I have put down the inhabitants like a violent man.
See, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. I put down all the people of the land. Go ahead.
And my hand have found as a nest the riches of the people. And as one gathers eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth.
See? So what he's saying, I have gathered all the earth now into my power, my control. Continue.
And there was none that moved the wig or opened the mouth of peed.
Or peep.
Peep.
Right. And who did the same thing too? Babylon. When Nebuchadnezzar came to power, he did the same thing. He said the same thing too. And the Most High used him to punish us and all the surrounding nations. Then after he did that, the Most High did what? The Most High judged Babylon. Just like he's going to do America. He set up America to rule, and he's going to judge this country. Okay? Continue.
Shall the axe boast itself against him that hew therewith, or shall the sword magnify itself against him that shaketh it, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the shaft should lift up itself, as if it would not know wood.
So everybody understand what they're saying right here, right? Everybody understand, right? Okay. So now, being that he's boasting, so the prophet Isaiah was given an example. It said, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth the tree? Can the axe boast himself? No, the axe can't boast because it takes somebody to chop it down with the axe can't do it by itself. You have to be the one to exert the force to chop that tree down. So the axe can't boast and say, I did it. It's the person that's doing it did it. Okay? So it said, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth the tree with? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? The saw can't magnify itself. All right? Because you're the one that have to put the saw to motion. You have to cut it down. The saw can't do nothing unless you use it. Just like a gun. You could have a gun there, but a gun can't do nothing unless you do what? You crank it, you put the bullet in, and you pull that trigger. So Peter said, oh, the gun killed me. No, the gun didn't kill you. The person that handled the gun killed you. Right? Because they put the gun into motion. So that's the same the Most High is saying. None of these things can boast, just like the king. He can't boast because it was the Most High that put the spirit in him to do what he's doing. All right? So now jump down to the 16th verse now.
Isaiah 10 and 16. Therefore shall the Alawan, the Most High of hosts, sing.
Okay, that's it. So I just want to show you that, how the Most High sets up people in the earth to rule or kingdoms. Now, when we go back to Revelation now, right? Revelation 16, right? And it says the seat of the beast. A beast represents an empire. All right? Let's go to Daniel 7 and 1 to show you a beast represents an empire or rulership. All right? Because I know people say, Banyamyan taking the scripture out of context. He's cherry picking scriptures. That's what these nuts love to say that don't understand the scriptures.
Daniel 10 and 1.
Daniel 7 and 1.
Reading out the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and a vision of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night and beheld the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
Everybody know what's the great sea, right? What's the great sea? Now, the great sea, this is talking about sea. We know the sea represents people, but this great sea represents a particular sea. Not quite. The great sea is the Mediterranean Sea. That's the great sea, the Mediterranean. All right? And all these empires came across the Mediterranean when they came into their power. All right? The Greeks, the Romans, the Babylonians, and the Persians, they all came across the Great Sea. They came from the Mediterranean to come into Israel. All right? So the Great Sea represents the Mediterranean. All right? Go ahead.
And four great beasts.
See, four great beasts. All right? Go ahead.
Came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
All right. So these beasts represents kingdoms. All right? And rulership in the earth. So let's go back to Revelation 16. Revelation 16 and 11 in the 10th verse, right?
Okay. Revelation 16 and 10. And reading out the book of Revelations, chapter 16 and verse 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast.
All right. So the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, which is America. Okay. Continue.
And his kingdoms were full of darkness.
And his kingdom is full of darkness. That darkness represents what? What does the darkness represent? Evil, and what else? Corruption, yes, that's right. And what else? Lack of knowledge, lack of understanding to their problems. All right? America is in great darkness. Okay? And what's brewing in America is a civil uprising. Everybody knows that, right? You see why they're taking so long to send Trump to jail? If they send Trump to jail, it's a civil uprising in this country. You can forget it. It's on. It's a civil war. Because he's guilty. How the hell are you going to have all those documents in your house and you're not the president? If me or you had that stuff in your house and the CIA and FBI came to your house, you can forget it. You're going down. You're going to jail. All right? And then when they got there, he's going to tell them, they're going to issue him what you call what's the stuff they ask when they come to search your house? A search warrant. And when they get a search warrant, they could only search certain parts of the house. What kind of crap is that? When the FBI, CIA give a search warrant to search your house, every damn part of your house is going to be searched. They're going to tear that thing upside down. You understand? But they're pussyfooting around it because they know if they lock him up and send him to jail, it's on. It's internal warfare in America. That's partly how Rome fell, through internal conflict. And the same thing is happening again. They already threatened the FBI. All these groups are ready for war. They know the government is the problem. You understand? And they're ready to go to war. So this is a brewing conflict right now. It's a civil upheaval that's going to hit America. All right? And it's between the Republicans and the Democrats. It's a big thing. They're trying to keep it quiet, but it's brewing. It's brewing, and it's going to get out of control very soon. If they lock Trump up, and they say he's going to jail because he was saying to Hillary, lock her up, lock her up. The same should be to him now, lock him up.
Right.
For all those documents he had in his house. And you know what? My personal feeling and belief is this. I'm going to say it. To me, his damn wife is a damn Russian agent. That's my personal belief. How the hell every president that's in the United States never married a foreign wife? Right. All the wives he had is foreign wives from Russia. And one time when he went to Russia, his wife was up there with Putin like this. having a conversation. That never happens. The CIA or interpreter is supposed to be right there, interpreting what she's saying to Putin. It wasn't no interpreter there when she was talking to Putin. That's a conflict of interest. Right. Your wife up there talking to Putin like this, having a conversation in Russian? Where's the CIA and the interpreters? That's not supposed to happen. To me, she's a damn Russian spy. That's why when they did the investigation with him and Russia, were involved in the voting, he interrupted the voting. Him and Putin were buddies. And then he stole all their nuclear information and has it in his house? What's the purpose of that? And you're not the president no more? Come on, you're supposed to face jail time. If I stole documents from the White House and I have it in my house, and the CIA came and found it, they're locking my behind right up on the spot.
One page. One
time. Ain't no talking like, oh, sir, what is this? The handcuffs is going on, you're going to jail. But they're playing their pussyfooting around because they know if they go in hard, January 6th was a prime example of that. You understand? So it's brewing, and that's what they're kind of holding back. But it's going to happen. The Most High tells you in Apocrypha, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and their actions shall stand in their hands. And it's going to happen. That's going to be the breaking point for America because it happened in Rome. All right? So where we left off?
Revelation 16 and 10.
16 and 10. Okay, go ahead. So he says, yeah, read again from the top.
And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast. And the king and his kingdoms were full of darkness.
And his kingdom is full of darkness, confusion, lies, gross darkness. And once the people is in gross darkness, that's what? Meaning you have no understanding of nothing. There's no light in you. All right? Hold that, go to Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60 and 1. Remember Yahweh said, rise, shine, for the light is come. Light represents what? Knowledge, wisdom. Darkness represents no knowledge, no wisdom. All right? Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60 and 1.
Reading out the book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come.
Whose light? Our light is come. All right, go ahead.
And the glory of the Alawan is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
What's covering the earth? Darkness, lack of truth, no knowledge, evil. All right? For behold, darkness shall cover the earth. Go ahead.
And gross darkness the people.
And gross darkness the people. The people is in gross darkness. Stupid as they could be. All right, go ahead.
But the Alawan shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
See? All right? For light represents wisdom. Okay? Hold that, go to John 3 and 18. Real quick and come back to Revelation. John 3 and 18, so you could get an understanding. Yahushua is not light, but the earth is in gross darkness. The light also represents the wisdom of the Most High. Okay, John 3 and start from 18.
Reading out the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 18. My little children.
No, I mean St. John. St. John 3:18. St. John. Not John, but St. John 3:18. Yes, sorry about that.
All right, no problem. Let me find it. It's before, James. Where's that at?
St. John 3:18, because right after Mark. Right after the book of Mark.
John
3:18, yeah. All right, St. John 3:18. All right?
Got it. Reading from the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 18. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world.
See, light is coming to the world. Light gives room to a dark room. All right, go ahead.
And men loveth darkness.
See, and men love darkness. All right, evil, wickedness, lies. All right, go ahead.
Rather than light.
Rather than light. People prefer lies and truth. All right, go ahead.
Because their deeds were evil.
Because their deeds were evil. Go ahead.
For every one that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are worth in Yahweh.
See, wrath in Yahweh. All right. So darkness is lies, confusion, ignorance. Light is truth, wisdom, and understanding. All right. And we see that most of the earth is in gross darkness. Yes. Proverbs 6:23. Yeah. Yeah. Proverbs 6:23. Yeah. For the commandment is a light, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. All right. So let's go back to Revelation 16, and we're going to close out. All right. 16. Revelation 16. So we see that darkness is covering the seat of the beast, right?
Come on.
The beast, the kingdom is in darkness. Corruption. All right. Read it again.
Read from the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and 1.
No, 10. Yeah.
10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness. And they quarreled.
They gnawed
their tongues for pain.
So now they're gnawing their tongues for pain. All right? Now they're trying to find a solution to their problems. What are the pains that they're facing? Drought situations. Fires. All right? Yosemite is in fire. California. Hold that and go to Isaiah 10 and 18. Isaiah 10:18. All right, remember we read about global warming, what's going to cause a lot of these things? Remember we read earlier? It says the consequences of climate change now include, among others, intense droughts, water scarcity, severe fires, rising sea levels, flooding, melting polar ice, catastrophic storms, and declining biodiversity. All right? Isaiah 10 and 18.
Reading out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 18. And shall consume the glory of his frost.
Now read again. Shall consume the glory of his forest.
Isaiah 10 and 18. And shall consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body. And they shall be as when a standard bearer fainteth. And the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few, that a child may write them.
And isn't that happening now? Okay, the forest fires in California and Yosemite is destroying a lot of their trees. Even the trees they said have been around for over 1,000 years.
Right.
That's fire retardant. Is being burned up now. Okay, California has been on fire for the last 3 years. Every year, California is being burned up. All right, so the Most High is destroying them, the forests, man. Okay, read that 18 verse again, down to 19.
And it shall consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field.
And all this fruitful field in California, the almond trees. California is famous for growing almonds. Fruits is California #1 export and import to all the other states. Almonds, cashews, oranges, pears. California produces a lot of fruits, man, and all their fruitful fields are being destroyed. All right, go ahead.
Both soul and body, and they shall be as when a stand bearer fainteth.
When a standard bearer. You know what's a standard bearer? Anybody know what's a standard bearer? Like when a standard bearer fainted. Did you ever see like a person that's that's holding a flag or something up. You ever see like when Con Edison is working on the street and they have a flag, no, street closed off? It's going to be like when they're tired, they can't do it no more. All right? So the standard bearer that's supposed to hold the standard up of things up, he's fainting like, I can't deal with this no more. It's too much. So that's what's happening. The standard bearer is fainting. All right? They're fainting for all the things that's happening to this country. All right? Continue.
And the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few.
See, and the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few. That's just being burned up every day. Right? Yosemite is in fire right now. All right, go ahead.
That a child may write them.
All right, that a child could write it off and say, damn. Okay, so the Most High is doing his job in the earth. All right, so let's go out to Revelation 16. I'm going to close out the class.
10.
All right, go ahead.
Read from the book of Revelation 16 and 11. And blaspheme the Yahweh of heaven because of their pains.
See, so they're blaspheming the Most High of heaven. And that's what they're doing. They're blaspheming the Most High of heaven because of their pains. Go ahead.
And their sores. And repented not of their deeds.
And they're not going to repent of their deeds. That's why the Most High is going to destroy them with the fire. Go ahead.
And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
So the angel now is pouring out his vial upon the river Euphrates. And the river Euphrates is going to be dried up completely, eventually. Okay? And when that river is dried up, get ready. All those troops coming down in that area to fight. Okay? Go ahead.
And the water thereof was dried up.
See, and the water thereof is going to be dried up, just like all the waters are being dried up now. All the rivers, major rivers are being dried up. And that Euphrates River is going to be completely dried up very soon. Continue.
That the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
All right. So that the ways of the kings of the east might be prepared. China and Russia. They're going to prepare for this great war in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right? And guess what? China is a great superpower, right? China could fight. But I'm going to hit you out with something. Where does the majority of China oils come from? From Russia, right? Okay. And how much of it is shipped in by pipeline? A small portion. About 30% is by pipeline. Over 70% is shipped by oil tankers. All right? Now, America, as a military strategist and a tactician, what does America have to do to China if they want to win a war without striking the missiles? Block all the oil coming from the Straits of Hormuz and the Straits of Malacca. That's all American Navy has to do. Blockade those big oil tankers.
That's the whole reason.
Right. To give access. Right. See? But China doesn't have access to military bases all over the face of the earth. See? America has a strong point over China. If America wants, they could cut China off because China needs the oil. Everything in China is fueled off of oil, man. Remember, China is bigger than America. There's more people in China. All right? And America knows that. They say, yeah, you want to play hardball? We got something for you. Send out the Navy and blockade every cargo oil ship going to China. And it's over. What China's going to do? They might get bold and say, we're going to fight you. But America's still going to win. America will still win. Remember, America plays dirty. They don't play nice. All right? So remember that. If China want to go to war, all America has to do is send out their naval blockade and block every cargo oil tanker going to China. And that will create a war. But they will go to war eventually because it's going to boil down to what? Getting access to the oil to fuel your economy. So with that, I say shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yeah, Mike.
2 points, right? If truth dies, record you.
It's a problem.
Now, here's another problem. As far as bunker, he had 8 full barrels. The casket was so heavy, he almost dropped it twice.
Oh.
Here's the problem. What's in there and 2 sheep?
Right?
Why did it almost drop twice?
I don't know.
8 men.
I don't know. It's a lot of stuff good. But keep your eye on the prize. Keep watching. Keep watching the events. And keep linking it to the scriptures, and you'll see that everything is boiling down to the Most High's judgments in the earth. All right? So I say shalom. All right.